It's not anything to do with me. I think the one thing is he plays in a lineup where he has the ball a lot, and he's probably never had the ball that much before. As far as playing the point, Marcus can play the point when they're in together as starters, and then but even today, like Isaiah was in and with both Evan and/or Marcus, and we put Isaiah off the ball a little bit because that stretches your defense. They have to honor Isaiah at the wing, which sometimes opens up rollers or give him a drive and kick off of a live dribble. So Evan is playing well, but it's not like he's forcing, anything. He's just playing good basketball. He's got the ball in his hands a lot.
I think I'm getting used to, obviously, the system. I got the personnel's pretty good where they're making shots, and I think when we execute, we're really tough to beat, and this is not, with me having the rock in my hand. I just think it's a team thing, a unit thing.
You getting used to triple-doubles, too?
Nah. It's definitely cool. It's definitely fun, and the biggest thing is, getting them and winning. So that's the coolest thing. Right now, every game is key.
All right, back for part 2 now on the Garden Report, brought to you by lynda.com, Reached, Peak Organic Brewing, and now Audible.com. We're going to talk about Evan Turner's triple-double. We're going to talk about Tyler Zeller's fantastic shooting. We're going to see if Jimmy can keep it together here, and then we're going to go box and ball. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see. So, Evan Turner, third triple-double in about a month's time. I think the last 21 games. Evan Turner is clearly enjoying this point forward role. It's really working for him, having the role where he's basically running point later in the possession from the wing, having Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley bring up the ball. It's working great for him.
He's doing it all. I mean, he pretty much does wherever Brad Stevens puts him, he can adapt his game, kind of like a chameleon. I like to think of him as the human chameleon. That's what I'm going to call him next time I see him. He adjusts. He can play the point guard. He can play shooting guard. He can play small forward. And that's what the Celtics – I mean, the best decision Evan Turner ever made, maybe in his life, is to sign with the Celtics and on a short-term deal to sort of restore his value. Yeah. I mean, he's – and especially if they make the playoffs, he's one of the top reasons, if not the top reason, that they're playing so well the last 2 months. Last month – he was doing it. He wasn't shooting great last month, but he was averaging, I think, 7.3 rebounds, 7.1 assists. Now, in March, he averaged like 11 points, and his shooting went up to 46% from the field. I mean, he's doing what they need him to do out there. They're winning because of it. The 3 triple-doubles, they've won all 3 games, which is the most important stat. Mm-hmm. So I really like what I've seen out of him. And he's one of the guys, him and Isaiah Thomas are the only 2 players I really want with the ball in their hands late in the game.
Okay. So Jimmy just kind of nailed everything about Evan Turner
Part
that there
2.
was to say. So I'm not going to echo all that.
Come on,
but
you got something.
Something I guess that Turner can improve on, 6 for 17 shooting.
Yeah.
He's still kind of, I don't want to say they're ugly triple-doubles because he is doing a lot very well, but he still is not the best scorer overall. He kind of has that mid-range jumper, and every other aspect of his scoring kind of isn't there as much as you'd like it to be, but he still puts together very complete games. So, like you said, you're comfortable with the ball in his hands late, and maybe the best decision he made was signing this short-term deal with the Celtics. Turner, he might not want to come back here after that second year. He might be making too much money somewhere else. Could he be the type of player that Ainge takes this summer and says, we just boosted his value, now is the time with Evan Turner?
That's a good point. I mean, yeah, he could be a guy that they could...
Just decided to flip that around on you for a second.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
pumping up Evan
that's
Turner.
A good point. I mean, he's on low money. He's an expiring deal. I don't know what you could you get a first rounder for him? No, I don't really know.
Probably not.
I don't know what you could
If
what
you can,
Ainge
you
could
do
really
it, so.
get. I mean, I think that he might be worth more to the Celtics to keep if they're trying to. I mean, they're trying to. If it depends on how their offseason goes, really, right? I mean, if Ainge goes out there and gets a legit guy, he's not going to go and try to flip Turner for whatever. I mean, I don't even know what you would look for. But if it happens where they don't get anybody big and it looks like maybe a step back or a level playing field, if he can get a pick or a younger guy for him, he might do that.
I mean, Evan Turner.
Completely guessing.
I think is more valuable in Boston. More valuable in Boston than in most towns. So
I think Turner would rather stay here too because he's being asked to do so much.
So the main reason why I don't think Evan Turner would want to leave Boston is because he's had so much trouble fitting in everywhere in his career. He finally has found somewhere where the coach is 100% behind him. He's able to comfortably flow within the offense. And his biggest issue has been he hasn't fit into an offensive system anywhere he's gone his entire career.
He hasn't been that many places. He's been 2 teams.
Yeah, but there hasn't been
I
a
mean,
single.
He bombed with the Pacers.
Bombed with the
but
Pacers.
He, you know,
In Philly, he wasn't really
was-
working out for him though either. I mean, he's
Not
kind
totally.
of made comments about how in Philly he kind of didn't really feel free offensively. And of course, that Philly team, if they kind of kept him there, they could have been able to continue to build something. We don't know. But Evan Turner, he's made a few comments this year that kind of indicate that he finally feels like himself
yeah.
for the first time in his
Yeah,
career.
for sure.
And that's a huge thing, and it's something that he had to learn the hard way of how valuable that is in the NBA. So I don't expect him to walk away from the Celtics, but if there's a huge
But
money
he's gonna
gap
build
between
his,
what
he's
he's
gonna
getting.
build his value up. I think is what Julian was
Sure.
saying.
The
And
point is if he's building his value up as this player who's not necessarily the number 2 overall pick that people expected him to be, but not the bust that he might have been
Right.
when his value went to an all-time low after the Pacers deal. What happens?
he's
this summer?
like
I don't have the answer.
he's
I don't
like
have a
the
good
biggest
answer.
free agent the Celtics have signed in the last
Since like
decade.
Dominique.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that is pretty sad.
I'll tell you the biggest thing for
But
me
it's
tonight.
working
though-
out for him, so maybe other free
Yeah.
agents will be like, hey.
So other
here.
underachieving top draft
Yeah.
picks. Get Derek Williams, Michael Beasley in the house, all the number
Wow, now
twos.
we've
Bring
got a
him in.
squad.
Get Keith Van Horn, the assistant coach. So, but for me, the biggest thing with Evan Turner is we were calling him. I was calling him Evan Turnover earlier in the year.
Yeah, you
Tonight,
jerk.
12 assists, 1 turnover in a team high 35 minutes. I mean, that's huge. That's great. Not even Rondo is pulling off those kind of assist to turnover ratios there. So he's a lot more in control of his game. He's not really dribbling or passing the ball away nearly as much as he used to. It's mostly just because there's less pressure on him to kickstart the offense. It's more that he gets to get in the driver's seat while the car's already moving.
Guess how many triple doubles Rondo has in Dallas?
0. It's pretty good.
3-0 Turner.
That trade worked out pretty well, didn't it? So
You can't get many triple doubles when you get benched for yelling at your coach.
that's
Yeah, they don't record very easily from the bench.
okay. So just really quickly, let's go to box and ball.
What about real quick Zeller?
We'll end with that. So, box and ball of the night, obviously Kelly Olynyk because
Okay.
he's a hero to all of us and an
Unanimous.
inspiration to live and all that stuff. For boxing out,
The one-eyed bandit.
I wonder.
Yeah.
so
And Willie.
Boxing out.
let's not go
Oh,
there.
boxing out.
I'm going to go with 22%. That was the Celtics' 3-point percentage.
Wah,
They got the
wah.
win, but they shot 6 for 27 from downtown. And a lot of that, 3 of 4 for Kelly Olynyk. So if I do some quick math here, that means the rest of the team, shot 3 for 23. That's not very good. The rest of the team has to step that up if they want to make this playoff push.
Bit of a downer stat from Julian over here.
Maybe you can lift us up a little bit
They
here.
won the
Bring
game.
us
I
up,
mean,
Jimmy.
you know what? I will speed things up with my fast break points. 19-9 from the Celtics. I thought early in the game too, it looked like they were really pushing the pace out in transition. There were some nice cross-court passes. I know was it Marcus Smart made a really nice pass to Kelly Olynyk. So yeah, fast break points.
And then for me, what you wanted to talk about, Tyler Zeller, 8 for 9 from the field. He only went 1 for 1 in the second half, but he blew the gates open on this one. And then, of course, Kelly could come in and kind of take care of the rest of the game. But Zeller was great. He was running the break. He was getting layups, had a jump hook, which I always love to watch him get those little 8-foot jump hooks. But you wanted to say something, Jimmy, so why don't you take that?
Oh, I don't want to say much. I just wanted to make sure we gave him his due. And also in the first
It's been gone.
in the first quarter, he was their main offense in the first quarter. I think he had 11 points, like really early on.
And it's because he's a little quick on his feet.
Yeah.
And Hibbert's not. He just outran Hibbert down the floor a lot of times.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to say.
That's it. That's
All
all.
right.
That's all that needs to be said.
Well, Jimmy, we're glad that you joined us here. Max actually was coming out. We were going to have him come on the show, but he wanted to go home. Yeah, you missed it, actually. So
Well, it's no big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I'm.
we got him to walk
It
up to the
wasn't
desk
like
at
better
least.
It
on
wasn't
Yeah.
like we were really that close to having Max on. We just kind of talked to him for a second.
Well, wouldn't you rather have me?
We held out.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a good 1.5 feet between the two of you there. So, for Julian,
If
Jimmy,
you'd have to mess up. The camera would be all over the place. Like this just works.
well, we would just get those kind of like booster seats like Phil Jackson. We'd just sit on
Yeah.
like a pile of cushions or something like
I
that.
know
I
those
would sit
well.
on Jared's shoulders. And Max and I would do
And then Kyle would just come in and kind of lay
One
across
big
the table.
suit just
Yeah.
looks like one person.
So, the 3J signing off here on the Garden Report. Don't forget to do that reached poll. Don't forget to drink Peak Organic Brewing beer. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on the air. Don't forget to learn about sufferlinda.com. And don't forget to download a free audiobook over at audible.com. They are the kings of audiobooks. And I'll tell you, as someone that doesn't like to read, audiobooks are a lot more fun than
Oh
reading
yeah,
books.
popping in the the ride home from
Yeah.
work or whatever.
I just finished the Tina Fey autobiography pretty recently. That was an
Of course you
incredible
did.
book.
That was an incredible.
Dead serious. Dead serious. I've been
I
an
don't even wanna-
Audible.com customer for a long time.
I don't want that. Listen, Audible.com that's a great thing, but I don't know what made you go to the Tina Fey autobiography.
Well, for one, Tina Fey is a comedic genius. 2, it's a wonderful book. 3, all the SNL 30 Rock content is great. 4, it's called Bossy Pants. Come on, man. It's an
That's
easy sell.
what it was.
That's an easy
That's
sell.
what it was.
Somebody who watches that would have 4 reasons as to why. Or, sorry, listen.
All right, are we still on the air? Yeah, we're still on the air. Good night.